All right, hello everyone. So we are now doing part two of two. We just finished part one, in which we talked about quite a lot of things, namely viewer comments up into this point, and we are going to talk about more. So if you're just tuning in here for the first time and you're wanting to know how we got to this point, go back to, or hit pause, go back to the first video, which should already be downloaded, be part one of two, and then watch it, and then go into part two of two, which is here. So again, it's August the 1st, 2018. We spoke about teachers, and our little girls were meeting their teachers, and how much we really appreciate teachers in life and in general, and coaches and everything else. So we gave a big shout out to teachers and how much they do for all of us and our kids, and so many more people in the world. We talked about that. We had some comments about the thunderstorm yesterday, which was on part two of yesterday's show. And again, I won't dwell too much on these comments, because again, they're on part one. So I'm going to jump right back into where we left off. We had just completed Kia Sama's comments, who always does a great job. We had discussed that she is in the running for comment of the day, along with Furzy09's comment of the day. So if you don't really know kind of the definition behind that, just again check part one, so we don't waste too much time in this one, respectively. Rajesh commented right after Kia Sama's wonderful set of comments, and Rajesh brought up something about shrieking. We talked about shrieking yesterday. And why it is, and that we have seen it being coached. Hey, go ahead and shriek, it makes you better. In essence, not in those words, but that's the end result of some coaches. So read Rajesh's comment on shrieking.
He said, quoting a comment from another YouTuber, name of that is Mongo Boogie. He's quoting, yes. I was just thinking that we owe a lot to Monica Seles now, with the amount of shrieking and screaming you hear in the women's game. And there's been other notorious shriekers since, but it's all part of the game becoming more physical, so I won't criticize too much. That's the comment from the YouTuber. Then he says, matches being physical, grunting becomes more obvious. That's what I meant by Carla being strong. Doesn't matter if they are big or small, how much your body can take, how long you can go is the question. These days matches are becoming physical. When I see the old matches, I laugh because absolutely no rallies, nothing. Well, I see. Well, I get what he said, but back in the days, they rallied a lot more because there was no power.
Yes and no.
Well, now you put the ball away. 1, 2, 3. Well, if there are rallies, there are more. Yes, they're hit harder than back in the days. But Steffi Graf is a great example. She was in the era where, yes, tennis was slow and then fast. Did you ever hear her grunt?
So that comment, actually, we were talking about it briefly, and I didn't really think about it. Maybe I wasn't paying attention 100%, but that's actually kind of deep. I have to think about that one for a minute, because what I understand, again, this is kind of like a physics equation in a sense, because what I'm understanding is that it's not necessarily how long and arduous the points are, but it's the power that these girls or anybody is generating, and they're still getting to the ball. In other words, they're hitting it a lot harder, they're running a lot faster, and they're doing it for a longer amount of time. I think back in the day, and again, I was raised in a conservative tennis game, with a standard-sized rackets. My first racket ever was a Bancroft Woody Junior. My second racket was a little head aluminum thing, and I had a picture of. Mm-hmm. My third racket was a Wilson Ultra 2. My fourth racket was an original Pro Staff 85, and I played with that up until college. So the what I'm getting at is back in the 80s days that I can remember as a junior. I think I would spend more, if I ran after it, I wasn't setting up to cream a wicked backhand up the line with massive spin with polyester strings. It was more like I would stop, and then I would guide the ball over and try my best to get to the net. I see that the energy given, these just absolutely crushing shots, and then people like Nadal's or a fit Serena go chasing it down and get it, and they recover, and they're doing it for longer. I don't see I agree with him that the points in the game is much more arduous as it ever been. I.e., let's be here's the consummate tiger is Nadal.
Yeah, they are. They are. The points are a lot harder.
They're a lot harder. Let's look at a fit Serena. She's been dominant. Why? Because she's so strong, and she just it's amazing to see.
And she usually grunts just when she's going for a winner. She's like,
so yeah. I mean, I agree with him in the sense that the game is much harder in terms of strength and tenacity and the gusto behind the shots. I get that. I still, there's no one can persuade me any differently that a constant grunt on every shot is okay.
No. I mean, I understand that sometimes we have
hard.
to.
She kills the ball. We may grunt once a match.
Yeah,
maybe.
I understand that sometimes you do grunt when you hit the ball hard, but every single shot, that's ridiculous. Are you telling? I mean, I was watching Shapovalov the other day, and she hit a shot and then went like this, and she still grunt. That's a habit, and that's annoying. And you know, when you watch these little juniors, are you telling me they're hitting the ball hard? That they're using all their energy to hit this ball?
See, I can put this. I don't have to see the good thing about this argument for me. Why I can always stay biased and be very confident on my bias on this is because I've played the game my entire life. So has she. And believe me, there's no one that we talk about I wouldn't play. I would definitely lose to 95% of them, obviously, but I would still play them.
Look,
and I never grunt, and I promise you, I'll win some games.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna win some games.
It's rare. You know, my daughter sometimes, Liana, she grunts, she imitates them, and I get mad at her. I said, no, we're not doing that in this game. Do not grunt. There's no reason for you to grunt. You can learn how to breathe. You know, use your breathing right to hit a ball hard. So it's a lot of them are just listening to it. They watch it on TV and they imitate that.
Yeah, it's really unnecessary. And again, I speak from somebody when we play or we play matches anywhere. I mean, we're definitely hitting the ball. There's videos of us hitting the ball. You have to go back maybe a month or two. I think there's like 900 videos. They're like around 700 probably.
And I've got a brother that hits the ball way harder than us, and he doesn't grunt at all.
Yeah, I mean, her brother is a lights out. I mean, he would wipe me off the court relatively easily, and I promise you, I'll play with anyone, and he's that good. And believe me, there's no grunting going on. There's just not. That we've played some matches with 6'7" Russian players, 5'5" level or better. And just there's never a peep. I mean,
I've watched college tennis players too. We've watched some college matches.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched this game since I was born.
I've watched guys whack the ball. I mean, lightning fast, and they don't grunt.
I can't do the screeching. I just can't.
It's sometimes okay, but all the time, no. Big no.
All right, so only one more comment left, and it was from a new viewer. Adam West was the name, and this came in today, and his comment was the following. I'm going to quote it so you know I'm not getting my year wrong, but it says, Djokovic, U.S. Open 2019, right? I like this because
he says Novak for U.S. Open 2019.
Yeah, Novak for U.S. Open 2019. Obviously, we know this is 2018 upcoming. However, I understood even two ways. One, if he's saying, well, maybe he's not going to be ready this year, but next year you can count on it. I like that comment.
That's a good comment.
However, if it's a typo and he meant 2018, you think this year, I agree with that too. So either way, we always like to have new comments, new people. Welcome. And either way, whichever way I was supposed to interpret it, I like it either way because currently I would say the same thing. I think Djokovic will win the U.S. Open this year and probably next year too. Why not?
I'd rather keep my mouth shut on that one.
All right. So anyway, that wraps up viewer comments. So I have to give, with all the comments said, the comment of the day to Kiyosama. Okay. Rajesh would agree with this one. He wanted her to have it yesterday. It was really close. But I had someone pump me up with their, come on, keep it going. And we didn't want to do it yesterday. So one was like super motivational, even though it wasn't really factual. But today, Kiyosama's like nailed the whole gauntlet.
She did, for sure.
So just, she just brings so much professionalism, so much knowledge, so much fun, so much jolliness, so much happiness. When you read her comments, you just want to smile, even if she's calling you out on something, which is obviously respectable. You're just like, man, this is a good person, and you can feel it. Yeah. So anyway, great job, great job. Humbled as always to read your comments. Keep them coming. Thank you very much. So we're gonna get into some results in tennis news. and one correction on my end that I've been,
we both have been doing
have
it,
been speaking about for probably what, a couple of months.
But I like both players once we mention it.
All right, so this is a big mistake, and it's not. I guess if you look at the whole description that I'm going to tell you, it's not really that big of a mistake, but it is because it's two different people. So we have been speaking about a very young American girl, Kenin, okay, who I think moved to the United States when she was 2.
Yes.
And at his place here, I think she trains in Florida and so forth. And at the same time, though, there is another American girl that was actually born here, I think New Jersey.
Yes.
And her name is Anisimova. And for about the past month or two, we saw Anisimova play. Was it the French Open we saw her play?
No, I saw her last year. The first time I saw her was last year playing against Sharapova.
She was 15.
Sharapova, and I remember them saying she's deciding whether to turn pro or to go college.
Yes.
Well, I guess she's a pro.
Let's go.
And I said to him, that's the next future of tennis right there. I said, you see the way that girl hits? I mean, she's risky. She hits the ball hard. She did not fear the fact that she has Sharapova on the other side.
Yeah. So this worked. She's making reference to we saw a 15-year-old girl play last year, right? We were like, man, she's like big, like 5'10", 5'11".
She was powerful.
She was like, I mean, just
Very
drilling the ball. And I
powerful.
was like, who is this girl? And we looked it up, and this was last year. So once we found this out today, that corrected this whole deal in our heads. We saw the picture of this girl reading an article, and I was like, that's the girl. I thought her name was Kenin.
I kept confusing her with Kenin, which Kenin is a great player as well.
Kenin's great too. She's great too.
And young.
But we had been discussing for a couple of months a very young American player that is an immigrant, or their parents are an immigrant from Russia, as is Kenin, but again, Anisimova was
born in the
here.
U.S. Yes.
So she's an American player, no matter what. So what I want to correct is that for so long. A matter of fact, yesterday we were talking about Kenin, and you told me your age, 19. I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't say anything on camera, but I was thinking to myself, she was like 15 last year. How did she get 19 all of a sudden? But I just went through it. I didn't realize it until I saw the picture today. It's Anisimova is the girl for 2 months that we've been referencing that's very young, that's an American player. Kenin is another one, yes. So I'm excited in the fact that we have Kenin and Anisimova. Now I get that Kenin was moved here very young, but I think she started tennis here, and I think her parents were heavily
She was
involved.
like 2 years old.
So yeah, I mean, so great. So it looks like for me that if I had to put my money on the future of American girls tennis after Venus and Serena go, and if you want to throw Sloane Stephens in there, okay, but she squeaked by Maddox Sands. I wasn't impressed yesterday, so I think those two, Venus and Serena, are a different category.
Oh, much different.
But I think that Anisimova, respectfully, Anisimova and Kenin would be more futuristic in terms of U.S. tennis and even global tennis than anyone else out there right now. Yes. And they're right here.
Anisimova is how you say it? She definitely has the game. I mean, she's tall, she's got the look, she's got the game, she's got the attitude. I remember hearing her story that her mother said she just trained. She would hit forehands all day long. And no one had to ask her to train. She loved doing it. And that's what you need to be a champion.
I agree, man. I agree with that. Yeah, watch out for those two. Anisimova. Another Ova. Anisimova, respectively. And Kenin.
And both parents are tennis coaches.
Good. Hey, that means we can do it too, right?
Yeah.
All right. It's motivation 101 right here. All right, so thank you for that motivation, by the way, to the Anisimova and Kenin camp.
Hopefully they do well at the U.S. Open. I mean, they both won their matches. So.
All right, next little bit of information. Serena Williams loses today 6-1, 6-0 to Konta. I think
she lost last night to Konta. How shocking and. Ugh. I saw the picture. Her picture shaking Konta's hand, and I said to myself, wow, Serena's got a long way to go with fitness. Long way to go.
Well, if I read it correctly, she won her opening service game, was up 1-0, Serena, and then lost 0-0 after that, 6-1, 6-0. It doesn't mean anything to me.
No, it doesn't mean a lot, but it just means that she's still vulnerable, and she still has to get in shape.
So
it's tough. I mean, it's not easy. I can't say, oh, bad Serena for not being fit yet. I mean, it takes time. I still pick her on my bracket.
Or could it simply be that she's a new mom? Maybe she breastfed till late in the night. The baby was crying, or the baby was sick, or her husband and her got in a fight, and she just didn't want to be there in the first place.
You never know what
she
the
was
factor
upset
was.
Because the taxi cab was late. She just had a snafu moment. Now, yes, her fitness is still suspect,
well,
and it should be.
You could see it, but yeah, I mean, she's 10 months. I mean, usually it takes a whole year just to get somewhat semen. I mean, some women do it faster than others, but she's a professional athlete, so it's a little bit different.
But still, only 10 months?
Yeah. Well, she'll be done with the breastfeeding soon. I mean, a couple more months.
I mean, if I remember correctly, Murray's been out close to 2 years, while Rinka's been out.
Yeah, I mean, we shouldn't be so hard on her.
Doesn't matter.
I'll still pick her on my bracket.
You have to.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Good win for Konta.
Great win for her. I mean, obviously, I don't think Konta right now, however, is on social media taking a selfie picture saying, I just beat Serena 6-0, 6-1. I'm the best in the world. I didn't look. I don't have it.
No, I didn't see anything. I have all the apps because I post all the videos, and I didn't see anything.
Well, yeah, but I meant it more along the lines of she can't be too proud of that. Konta obviously has to know Serena was not playing her best. That was the first time she'd ever beaten her in the first place. Maybe even first time ever dropped a set to. I'd have to look that up. But
there's been very few times that Serena's lost that bad.
Irrelevant.
Yeah.
Irrelevant.
I think Halep's done it. Sharapova did it when she won her first Wimbledon at 17.
Irrelevant.
A few players have done it, not many.
All right, so next topic. Benoit Pierre, the Frenchman, decides to smash 3 rackets on the court today. Who needs it? Hey, hold on.
Yikes.
Look.
Can I have those 3 rackets?
Yeah, can I get those? Look, if next time you want to smash 3 rackets on the court, please.
Send them to my kids.
Send them to my kids, bro, because we go purposely to garage sales, just trying to find quality rackets. Obviously, we don't buy the crappy ones, but we go looking. So, please, man, please. Maybe wear a charm around your neck, bro. That is like a tag, like a belt buckle, so you can feel it a little heavy when you play. And if you get mad and you're about to smash your racket on the ground, you can see the belt buckle hanging down off your neck. And it's like, give one to Justin and Carla and his 5 kids. Be like, oh, wait a minute. I just saw my...
Wait, I have to ask, did he smash
them? And then send me the rackets.
Did he smash them consecutively?
No. Like, I didn't see it, but I read it and saw the pictures. So it's like a point, so forth, whatever. He smashes the racket, right? Then he goes over to his chair and he trips over his bag, kind of like he tripped over the bag because you just got bad karma because you broke your racket, and then smashed another racket, and then lost the match, and then smashed another one, and then went and shook the dude's hand.
I hope he got fined for that.
He's an idiot.
That's just as bad as someone throwing out their full plate of food, in the garbage with so many people starving, so many kids needing rackets in the world. Why would you smash a racket?
Real good example, bro. Need not see that ever again. No, worse than McEnroe. It is worst. I'd rather watch a video of McEnroe's worst moments all wrapped up into one than see that.
That's bad.
Whatever. Next, look, get a.
Is it as bad as Yuzny hitting himself with the racket and smashing it?
Yeah, you remember when Yuzny used to bang his face with his racket and he'd have blood running down his head? But I think that was once. And it was
One
like
time
an accident.
he did that, yeah.
But, man, come on. Those 3 rackets, let's see. He hits with an Aero Pro Drive, yeah. So you break 3 Aero Pro Drives at $200 a piece with a $40 string job, $240.
He could have donated
plus a
that.
grip, probably
he should have donated the rackets if he didn't like them.
Probably weighted and custom made, and you just obliterate one of them, not 2 of them, but a 3rd one on the court. What a abhorrent display of professionalism. Ridiculous.
I've never smashed the racket. I always think about when I'm so mad at tennis court. I say it's not my racket's fault. It's my fault.
Stupidity.
Why would I smash a racket? I can never bring it back.
Here's a marketing question. I wonder if Babolat think that's good publicity because their rackets just got smashed in the court. I'd be like, dude, you're gonna break my rackets. Screw off. That's what I'd say. But I'm not Babolat. But if I owned Babolat, I'd be like, you're a punk. Go get a Wilson racket to break.
Maybe they should have some of these players sign a contract if you break the racket. I don't know. Gotta pay a big fine or donate this fine to some. I don't know.
If I was Babolat, I'd be like, Benoit, paint your racket black now because you just lost your sponsorship. If you want to keep playing with it, fine, but you buy all you want from me. But you just broke 3 of my Mastercraft pieces. All right, thank you. Glad we had this conversation. Oh, but wait, I'm sorry. Click. Whatever. And furthermore, he loses to Baghdadis, a crafty, long-time veteran player.
Good win.
Let's go, Baghdadis.
Good win for, I like
Let's
Baghdadis.
go.
I like him.
Come on.
But he's done the same. He's smashed a few rackets earlier in his career.
Is that a mentor, a Tsitsipas? Is Tsitsipas and Baghdadis like mentorship? Aren't they both from Greece?
I thought that Baghdadis, well, isn't he from like Cyprus?
Oh, he is from Cyprus, but
Yeah.
same neck of the woods.
Yeah.
Hey, good job, Baghdadis. Let's grind it out. Watch out for Baghdadis being an unseeded player, though.
He's always,
he
he's
can
always
be
fun
crafty.
to watch.
He
Yeah.
just got deep in a tournament not long ago.
Yeah, he's fun to watch.
All right, Benoit Pierre, you get the thumbs down of the day. Thumbs down of the day. First one ever. Thumbs down of the day goes to Benoit Pierre. Donate your rackets to me, bro. I'd love to have them. Even broken, I could like sell them on eBay or something and pay a phone bill. Give them to me, bro. Broken or not. All right, next up.
I don't think you could sell him for much. If he was a popular player, sure.
I still sell them though. I'd have to have proof, so I just take a picture on TV, like a screenshot of the stupidity that I watched happen. Like go back to the match, take a screenshot, and then on eBay put the racket up to the TV screen and take a picture. And be like, see, this is for sale. It's broken. You can have it, and start the bidding now. Waste of time. All right, next topic coming up. Wawrinka goes down to Donald Young. He played bad, but Young played great, and it was still close. We've already talked about this.
Yes.
So I wrote it in and forgot that we talked about it.
Yeah.
I wrote 8 pages and forgot it was on page 2, maybe even on part 1. But yeah, he went down, but it's irrelevant to me.
Irrelevant. I mean, I think he's rusty, like I said before. And
Now, we were wrong. We were wrong.
We were definitely
because
wrong.
we said
he
Wawrinka.
should have wiped him out, but, he was rusty. Even on match point, Wawrinka shanked his backhand. I mean, shanked it. I mean, it barely hit the, his side of the net. So he's obviously very rusty, a little out of shape. I think a few more matches, he'll get back there.
Yeah, his backhand is usually arguably one of the best in the game. Sometimes I even want to say it's even more Federer-esque than Federer himself.
Yeah, I even told my daughters and my boys were watching. I said, watch his, because they all have a one-handed backhand. I said, watch his backhand. I said, that's the backhand that you need to emulate. It's beautiful.
Concur. It was heavily errant last night. There was a lot of unforced errors on that side. He had a couple of really nice passing shots as usual, but still very rusty. So I think if I had to choose between Murray and Wawrinka going further in the U.S. Open, who would it be? At this point, I would still say Wawrinka.
Yeah.
So I kind of see Wawrinka and Murray right now being at the same level of rustiness, but Wawrinka, I think, is healthy.
I think Wawrinka is more of a fighter. I'm sorry. He has more fight in him than Murray.
Yeah, Murray's
like a crybaby. His mommy has to say, it's okay, baby, it's okay.
But yeah, on top of that, though, Murray's, the way he walks seemed really
it's odd.
Really
It almost looked like his hips were not placed right. It just looked weird. He kept like rocking. It was just weird.
Yeah.
Like his hip kind of, I don't know if his hip bone came out or something.
Yeah, I don't know. It just looked like he was favoring it a lot, and I know he's kind of always walked a little straight up, but it seems like he was dragging a little bit, at least dragging a leg. Anyway, we wish them both the best, but if I had to choose between Wawrinka or Murray, who I had to put on my fantasy team as an unseeded player going in, I would probably go with Wawrinka, but I don't think I'm going to go with either. It's too risky.
It's too early for me.
Too early.
Yeah.
All right, so next, we mentioned the 15-year-old we mentioned last year. The name correction a minute ago was Kenin and Anisimova. Anisimova is actually playing tomorrow a Romanian girl. Here we are mentioning Romania once again. Go Romania. However, she, the 16-year-old now, Anisimova, is playing Buzarescu tomorrow. So, hey, we have a 30-year-old Romanian playing a 16-year-old American. I think it'll be an interesting match. I hope we get to see it.
Well, going back to the Serena Conta match, no coverage last night unless you had ESPN3.
Yeah,
I have DirecTV. Does anybody get ESPN3?
I don't even know what that is. Never heard of it.
I never heard of it either. So no women's tournament. You can't see that tournament in San Diego or San Jose. You can't see it.
All right.
Instead, they were doing the rerun again of Andy Murray against McDonald, which was not even a big deal match.
Well, given that she lost 6-0, 6-1.
Yeah, but we could have seen other matches, is what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah,
How are these women supposed to be known if we can't even see the matches?
I agree. We've talked about that before.
Tennis Channel, where are you?
Non-existent at times. All right, so again, we were wrong about the Wawrinka match. We thought he would win easily. So hey, we lost that one. Big L right here. We lost on that one. So Rafael Nadal was a topic that I read about today, where he had, I guess, relayed to some journalists who he thought the next two great players would be. He mentioned Alexander Zverev, the younger one, Sasha, and Shapovalov, okay, being the next number 1 and 2. I wanted to mention this because I know that Carla would agree with Shapovalov. I don't. We've talked about Shapovalov a lot. I disagree with Nadal here. I think Shapovalov is too inconsistent. He tends to fling open on the one-handed backhand. He looks a little too quick at times. He tends to go for it too quickly, and with that sloppy one-handed backhand, I'm just saying how when I see a one-handed backhand, I hit one. I've hit one my entire life. I don't even know. I mean, I can hit a two-handed backhand. I just don't care for it. But he flops it open too quickly and too. It looks like he's swatting at it instead of hitting it and directing through it. He tends to swat at it. So that's going to be picked on, and unless I think he guides that. I'm not saying guide it or push it. I'm saying but hit it with more of a directional shot and not so much as a flop. I think that will leave him suspect. So I can't say that he would be one of the next two. I instead of now I like Nadal's thought on Zverev being the one of the next. I still think though if he's going to be the next great player, then Zverev, the younger one, needs to start beating Nadal. He needs to start beating Djokovic, and he needs to start beating Federer right now. Like he needs to do it.
Well, didn't Zverev beat him in a clay tournament? Or do I have that wrong?
I didn't look up any facts there. I just kind of thought about that. But is Zverev's going to be the next best? I mean, he's already. I mean, come on, Nadal.
He has to win a Grand Slam like now.
Nadal won his first French at the 17.
Yeah, Zverev would have to win his first Grand Slam like now.
Yeah, he needs to get it now.
Now, as far as Shapovalov, I mean, the reason why you don't think he'll be number 1 is because, right now he toys around. You know, my dad says the same thing. Instead of finishing the points, he plays around too much. And he could fix his backhand problem easily. But I think he will be number 1. He has the game. He has the charisma, the personality. He's fun to watch and different. And a lefty, which gives a lot of problems to people.
Yeah, nice comment for sure there. Well said. I like, though, better than Shapovalov, either Coric or Tsitsipas. I like Alexander Zverev, but he needs to get it now. And with that said, I don't think that you can count out Coric, Tsitsipas in that conversation as well. They're both still very young, but we'll see what happens. Sure. I still like Venus at the U.S. Open, not to win it, but to go far. And I definitely like Djokovic to win it at this point. Moving forward, running out of time for part 2. Oh, my time flies. Very sorry to go on, guys. I noticed Denis Kudla had beat Khachanov today. I like Khachanov's an up-and-coming player. I don't mention him as being number 1, but I'm surprised Kudla beat him.
Maybe he's not good on hardcourt. I don't know.
Great job, Kudla. Keep it up. We've talked about Kudla before.
American?
Great story, yeah. You know, he went through his ups and downs, rode the wave, and he's now back in the wave. So great job, Kudla. Tiafoe won today, so good job for him. I'm still not going to get excited.
Well, Tiafoe's been doing a lot better than the rest of the Americans. Yeah. So he's starting to win a lot more.
Murray plays Edmund later. Good matchup. I would hope Edmund wins this.
I'll watch that one, yes.
Shapovalov tonight plays Daniil Medvedev. Daniil Medvedev is another upcoming player. Russian, I think. His family was into tennis. That's going to be a good match. But Shapovalov needs to win that match.
He does need to win it for me to even put him on a bracket.
And I will watch that match because I like Medvedev a lot. You got to put Medvedev up there with Coric, Tsitsipas, Shapovalov, and Zverev. Medvedev's good. Medvedev has a chance.
I don't know if I can do that.
Remember Medvedev. Don't forget about Medvedev. Tsitsipas plays Donaldson later on. Tsitsipas and Donaldson almost look the same to me.
Yeah, but they got different games. Tsitsipas is much better, in my opinion.
I think they both crank one-handed backhands, don't they? Well, I know Tsitsipas does. I'm not sure about Donaldson.
Yeah.
Later, Petkovic plays Sloane Stephens. If Sloane Stephens plays Petkovic like she did against Maddox Sands yesterday, Petkovic will beat her.
Agree.
Hopefully, Sloane Stephens wins, but I like Petkovic a lot, too. Kuznetsova plays a Romanian girl later. Here we can talk about Romania again. Kuznetsova plays Bogdan tomorrow. Bogdan.
Okay.
Here we go. That's a good match. Buzărinescu, another Romanian, right? Wins yesterday in San Jose. Here we're talking about Romania again. Again, I'm so happy that Kenin and Anisimova are up-and-coming U.S. players. We're really happy about that.
They won their matches too.
So we have about 3 minutes. So I had to speed up the end because we were at the end basically, and I didn't want to have to leave out saying thank you and so forth, because again, it's all thanks to you guys. That's why we do this. Without you all, it's not possible. We have a website we are fiddling with and trying to begin, so we can get more of our 900 videos organized so they can be watched without. I mean, we have like 900 videos out there that have been tennis and just thrown together, but sometimes people ask to see a video, and we already have it.
Yeah,
like,
well, I'll definitely have my older son put a list like
a
a
playlist or something
for lessons, and Carlin Justin hitting show, discussion.
Yeah. So I don't know how to do it, and I really don't have the time to figure it out. No excuses, but there's about 900 videos. I've had people ask us, hey, can you string a racket and put it on there? I'll watch the whole thing. You don't have to say anything. Just put your camera there, hit start. I want to see how your machine works, and I've done that, and those videos are there. There's lessons videos there. So there's so much stuff there. So we're trying to make it a little bit more organized, so when we get those requests, they're already there for you, because they probably are anyway. Mm-hmm. Share the videos. They help us. Again, we would like to do this more fluently, like on a daily basis, and actually do it as some type of maybe a fun work per se, with the passion that we have for the game and all of you. Then maybe we can make this a bigger group. So sharing it would be great. Liking it would be great. Commenting is great, and we try to address all those comments. It sounds like we have thunder coming again, so maybe we'll get some weather, but thanks so much for watching, everyone. And again, my up-and-coming players, I would say Coric has a very good chance to be top 5. Tsitsipas in a year or two, if he gets a little thicker, I think he has a chance. Shapovalov, I just don't see it. Top 10 or 20, I see that, but top 2 or 3, I don't see it.
It's just because I like him, that's why.
The younger Zverev, yes, but he needs to do it now.
Yes, he does.
And not later.
Or time will pass him by and there'll be somebody else right behind him.
Yeah, so I would say Kyrgios, but he's getting older and he hasn't gotten any. He hasn't got any more.
Forget about that idea.
Yeah, so his mentality just hurts him, and unfortunately, he's going to be like a Johnny Manziel of football. I do see Johnny Manziel has a starting position in Canada, so much respect for Johnny Manziel. But Kyrgios, you're going to have to do something, or you're going to be like Tomic. And Tomic's doing better, but sometimes it's a little too late.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a good one, as Carla always says.
Adios.
See ya.